What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the Urban Meyer spread playbook in College Football 25. This is my first custom playbook for this game, and I'm really excited about this. I've been getting requests over the years about his offense in general, and recently I've been getting more questions about it, so I decided to create a playbook built around what he likes to do. Now, I have several of his playbooks. I have them in my vault. You can go down to PlaybookGamer.com and go and check that out if you need to, or on my football study page. Along with that, add in the NCAA Football 14 Ohio State playbook and just kind of mash all that together, and just me just knowing what he's been running forever and ever. I have a good idea of what he likes to do, and this playbook hopefully will reflect that. Now, this is, again, a custom playbook. I got well over 400 plays. Don't let that intimidate you. Think concepts more than anything else. A lot of it's just a bunch of formations that he's used over the years. But I'm really excited to show you what I have. Now, before we dive into it, again, this is a custom playbook. Make sure you go over to Custom Playbooks, your downloading center. Go over there and go by keyword search, either Urban Meyer, one word, or go by my name, the creator, Playbook Gamer, one word. So let's dive in. So normally when I create these videos, I like to go through formations, concepts, play types, and personnel, and that's what we're going to do here. Let's start off with formation. So everybody knows with Urban Meyer, he's a spread option guy. Spread everybody out, run option of various ways, heavy use of the quarterback. Now, what's interesting with these formations, anybody who's used or created a custom playbook before knows things can get a little wacky in terms of how things are in order. Unfortunately, the game does not let us order the formations when in custom playbooks. As you can see here at the very top, I got Hail Mary, which I prefer not to have at the very top. It's got special teams and goal line. So normally what I do when I create a custom playbook, I just start from scratch, and then I start adding stuff. That's why you see the new stuff at the bottom. But let's start off with shotgun. So the bulk of the playbook is in shotgun, so we're going to start here. So another thing is I cannot put the formations in order. So you notice we got a couple two tight end looks, then it goes into 11, then it goes empty, then it goes 4 wide, then it goes back to 11 personnel. So these are just kind of all over the place. Again, the game will not let me switch these around, but that's not that big of a deal. So let's just start off at the very beginning, and let's just look and see what we have. So let's just talk about formations first. Wing slot weak, that's a 12 personnel look. I got 24 plays there. A slot, another 12 personnel look. Then we get into some 11 with slot left. Empty base is our first empty formation. Anybody who's watched Urban Meyer, especially like at Utah and in Florida, heavy use of empty formations. And I got several of them in here, and this is just one of them. We've got spread flex. If you want to start anywhere with this playbook, I suggest you start with this formation. It's just got pretty much every concept that I think he likes to use kind of built into one right here. 21 plays there. Then we get into tray open halfback strong. Then we get into spread offset. This is technically a 10 personnel look. Then we get into wide trips weak, an 11 personnel look. Then we got F twins over. That's an old school formation of his, and there's only 6 plays in it, and that's all 6 plays that the game offers. Tackle over. So anybody who's ran any of this tackle over formation stuff, this is in the Ohio State playbook in the current game. So make sure you check that out. It just moves your left tackle over to the right side. Pretty much your tight end and your left tackle kind of swap places. We got 15 plays there. Spread double flex. Another 2x2 spread look. Then we get slot right. Then we get into trips, so another 10 personnel look. Trio Y over. Slot right weak. And then split slot open. This is our only 2-back look from the shotgun. Then we get into wing trips weak. And we got a 5 wide look. And now we're getting into ace. So again, it's all over the place. I apologize. It's the game's fault, not mine. But then you get the doubles offset. And trio 4 wide receiver strong. Trio halfback weak. Empty tray flex. Empty Y slot. And now we're back to wing slot weak. So we got a ton of shotgun formations, as you would imagine. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through these. Let me go to the very beginning, and we'll just show you kind of what I've got here. We're going to definitely go by concept. So what you see here is you're going to see a lot of the same handful of concepts over and over again. A lot of running, a lot of option, a lot of play action. Same with a slot. You know, again, I'm not going to go through every single one of these. We're going to go by concept. It'll make a lot more sense to you. But at least you kind of know about formation, what we're doing here. Let's talk about pistol. He used a couple pistol formations, and according to a couple of his playbooks and the one from NCAA 14, here are the ones that I found. We got wing slot. That's a 12 personnel look. Strong slot open. That is 11 per, technically it's 20, I guess, unless they think 15 is a tight end. You got 12 plays there, and we got the full house formation. He has that in his playbook, so I threw it in there. So we got 3 formations out of pistol, and we got strong. This is strong twins over. I found it in his playbook, and it's also NCAA 14, so I included it. You got 6 plays there. And let's talk about goal line. I only added 1 goal line formation, and it's the goal line heavy. If you might remember, Tim Tebow back in Florida, what did they do around the goal line? They've done a lot of that just QB power stuff. As you see right here, we got QB sweep and jet option, QB blast. Then they would throw it to the tight end over the top if needed, which I thought was pretty cool. So you got 9 plays there, which is pretty neat. So those are your formations. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. All your specials and stuff are still in there. I think we're good to go. So I want to talk about personnel. So we got a nice variety here. Thankfully, with all these formations, you got some variety when it comes to you got moving guys around. As expected, we got a lot of 11 personnel. Most spread playbooks will have that. 32 is just your QB kneel. 30 is your full house from pistol. 22 is your goal line heavy. 21 is just your stop clock, and then you got your strong twins over. Then you got 20 personnel. You got strong slot open from the pistol, and we got gun split slot open. Then we get into 12 personnel. We got wing slot from pistol. Then we got the shotgun version of that, and then we get into a slot along with a. So you got 4 12 personnel looks, all with pretty much the same concepts. 10 personnel. I made sure I had several of this in here because he used so much of it back in the day. Spread offset, trips, 4 wide receiver strong, and then, you know, your spread off. So you got those 3 right there. That's more than enough. See, 21 and 9 and 12. And then we got an 0-1 personnel look, empty tray flex. And then we got a true 5 wide look, 5 wide receiver trip. So the reason why I done this, 1, these are all the formations that he liked to use. But 2, you don't have to deal with sub packages too much. If you really want to go 4 wide receivers, use these formations along with this one. If you need to go 5 wide receivers, use that formation, 11, so on and so forth. Again, that way you just don't have to use so many sub packages to move guys around. So we've talked about formations and personnel. I want to go over to concept, and this is going to make a lot more sense in terms of what is actually in this playbook. Let's start off, look at the play count. We got 63 runs. We got 109 options. Incredible. And guess what? There's not a ton of RPOs in there. You got 34 quick passes, 54 mediums, 73 deeps, and you got 7 play actions, but we know better, and we also know better with strong or with a screen pass. Let's go up to the very top with runs. So we got 9 counters, and again, anytime you create a custom playbook, this puts this in the weirdest of orders. I think they got this in alphabetical order currently, but you got 9 counters. You got 14 draws. According to the NCAA 14 playbook, they threw a lot of draw, and I saw some draw in this playbook as well. And you got make sure you got QB draw. Again, we got a lot of QB runs in this playbook. Inside zone, as expected, this will be your go-to basic run if you just need to hand the ball off. Outside zone, you got a few there. We got a little power. If you're going to have some counter, you're going to have some power built in, and he did like gap scheme stuff. We got 2 sweeps, and we got a couple of traps. And we also have a few reverses. They're kind of option plays. That's the reason why I threw them in, because we got to talk about option. Again, 100 plus of these. Starting off, inverted veer. If you need to read, I'm pretty sure that's the backside defensive end, if I'm not mistaken. This has got pulling guard action with it. We got 16 load options. These are your loads, your leads, and your speeds. Jet option, load option. This is from, now I love this play on the right. Shotgun spread flex, load option with a motion slot receiver. That's classic Urban Meyer stuff. Just tons of it in here. Then we get in, we got 1 midline option. This is pretty much inverted veer again, but this time I think you're reading the defensive tackle. Read option. So this is where the offense starts, is right here. Tons of read option and all different kinds. Buck sweep and read and lead and so on and so forth. We got 4 shovel options. Everybody remembers the shovel option he used back in the day. He still used it some like Ohio State. We got different varieties here. We got one with a tight end. We got one with a slot receiver. We got one with an H-back. We got one with 2 halfbacks. So you got good variety with your shovels. Speeds, those are those 16 load options we looked at earlier. We got 17 triples, and they're from everywhere. We got 2-back looks. We got slot receivers. We got that shovel option built in. More triple. More from the pistol. More from the gun. It just, you name it, it's all here, and he loved running this stuff. That's what made him so unique, and he was the one that really made it big in terms of like running a bunch of triple and heavy spread back in the mid-2000s. We got some zone option. Look where these formations are coming from. Shotgun spread, zone speed option. We got a motion halfback option. Again, that's just classic Urban Meyer. Then we got a few RPOs. So he didn't use a ton. He basically used basic just wide receiver screens. But if I had a formation that he used that did not have a basic wide receiver screen, I threw in a bubble screen instead. He was a big bubble guy. As you can see here, we got a couple bubbles with those reads. RPO peak, we just got one, but look, it's just a bubble read on top of that. Then RPO alert, we got 15, but notice it's kind of the same ones over and over again. It's either a bubble or like a Z screen or an alert screen. Like you see the alert Z screen. Again, it's either that or a bubble. We got a glance, but guess what? It's got a backside bubble. So bubble and screen, Z screens, that's kind of what to expect there. But I also got classic screens as well. We're going to look at those here in a minute. Quick passes, we got 4 Ohios. If you need a go out combo, 2 Omahas. And what's funny, and when I was doing a lot of this, when I was going back and forth between the NCAA 14 playbook and what we were seeing here, you wouldn't believe how much stuff carried over. I was surprised. I figured they would like add a lot more newer things, and they did, but they didn't in a sense. But some of these, like that PA read from Y Trips Week, I'm quite positive that was literally from NCAA 14. So I thought that was pretty cool. You got 16 slants. He was a big slant guy, according to the playbooks that I was researching, and he's got quite a bit of stick in his playbook. So it's up to you if you like slant or stick, or if you like both, then definitely use both. Let's look at the medium passes. We got 7 curls. We got 5 double moves, 3 drives, levels. We got 7 mesh. He started adding a little bit more mesh later on. I think when he started switching out some offensive coordinators, he started putting this in here. We got a pivot, and that's a good counter to your mesh. A few Salems, a couple shakes and shallow cross and slot cross. We got several smash, usually the most popular medium pass concept. Then we got a couple spots, and we got a couple Texas routes. So kind of take for a grain of salt. Notice we got a lot of 2s and 3s and 1s. I mean, I just went by what I saw. So if we got 2 shakes, it's not because I was looking for shake. It's because he ran a lot of 4 verticals and he ran a lot of curl flats. And these 2 happen to have the shake route in them. Okay. All right, let's look at deep pass. So it says we got 73, but you notice we're going to have a bunch of the same ones. We got a bunch of comebacks, but they're all different things. He was a motion slide guy. He liked the comeback seams and the inside cross. What's that look like to you? That's mesh. Dagger, we got 3 of those. We got a divide, which is deep attack. Double dig, 1 of those. 1 double post. We got some flood. He used quite a bit of flood. A lot of it. And then we got 14 verticals, which is pretty common for most spread playbooks. We got 1 go, which is just another P read. We got 5 meals, but notice a lot of it's either mesh or shallow cross. Portland, 5 of those. We got 8 shot plays, and shot plays, they kind of put these in just in the weirdest of things, but notice we got a lot of PA inverted veer. Why? Because we got a lot of basic inverted veer. Then we got some switch built in. PE wide receiver in was a big concept for him as well. Play action, it says we only got 7, a couple boots and 5 slots, but we actually have more than that. And when it comes to screens, we got 7 bubbles. We got 14 flanker screens, and we got 4 mid screens. However, if you go up to play type and you go to pass and you go to screen pass, we got 38 screens. These are a lot of classic screens, halfback slip screens, swings, mid screens, PA bubble, PA flanker screen. That's more of your old school screen, but that's what he had in the playbook, so that's what I threw in there. A ton of it in here. Then you throw in a handful of those RPOs. You got a crazy, crazy screen game that I think you'll enjoy. We also got almost 40 play actions. So again, we're going to run a inside zone, read option, triple, shovel, but you do play action on top of that, and you just pick whichever play action concepts you like, whether it's PE wide receiver in or PA slide or the inverted veer, things of that nature. We've already looked at runs in various ways, but again, the bulk of your run game will be inside handoffs. We got some outsides as well, a couple pitches, your 9 counters, 14 draws. So here's the thing about the passing game, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. When it comes to the draws, you're going to do a good drop back passing game, and you have to include this stuff. I suggest you do so. And here we go. So QB run, I really want to get to this. So these are direct QB runs, sweeps, blast, wraps, QB power, QB counter, blast, zone, blast, zone. I mean, just tons and tons and tons of it. You go back and watch any of his stuff, especially with Tim Tebow, they just ran him to death. Option, again, we got 71 total options, an insane amount. Ridiculous. I mean, you could spend hours just going through all of these, but it's the same handful of concepts over and over again, so don't let that number intimidate you. And we got some RPOs, but again, just treat these as screens. That's the way I look at them, especially when it comes to these bubble screens and whatnot. So I'm going to go back real quickly, and I'm going to just kind of suggest where you need to start. Again, we got over 400 plays. I suggest you start, go over to Shotgun, and go find Spread Flex. If I can go find it myself, it's all over the place. Let's see. There it is. So Spread Flex, this is where I would start, and it has all your basic stuff, your read option, your screens, you got some jet sweeps built in. You did use some of that. More speed, inside zone, quick slant. There is that motion wide receiver option. If you really want that look of what he liked to ran with the slot receiver, there it is right there. So this is where I would start. That's an 11 personnel look, but then I suggest if you do a drop back passing game, he was very emphatic on empty drop back passing. So what I mean by that is you go over to, let me go find one. Takes a while. So like 5 wide receiver choice. We got 12 plays here. We got slant and stick. I'm going to go ahead and just call something here. He had a really simple quick game, and a lot of it was out of the 5 wide in the empty sets. We'll go right there. Just go to your slant. Again, if you want to do drop back passing, I suggest just go straight to empty. We got several of them in this playbook, but it's up to you how you want to run this stuff. But let's keep going. I could probably find a little bit more. Let's see. Empty tray flex. Notice we got a QB draw. Again, use that if you got a running quarterback. I mean, that's the reason why you're using this playbook. Look at this. QB zone, more stick. We got some smash, curl combo, more smash, more stick. And you just, again, empty Y slot. Use this for your quick passing game, but also use it for your QB runs. I'm going to go QB dime. Let's see if we can get a basic run up the middle here. Going to get about 5 yards or so. If I had Tim Tebow, that could have been probably a little bit better. Either way, a ton of good stuff in here. Again, don't let that number intimidate you. There's over 400 plays and a bunch of formations. However, we're still running the same main stuff over and over again. It's still option, reads, speeds, leads, some triples, run play action off of that, and then do your quick pass game out of any formation you want, but definitely try to sprinkle in a lot of the empty stuff right there. Again, make sure you go over to the download center, go look where that is at, Playbook Gamer or Urban Meyer, one word, and enjoy the playbook. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.